What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another one of our game recaps. Today, we're going to be looking over the games from August 13th, and we're going to be doing one of these every day that there are games during the preseason and the regular season. So please like and subscribe if you would like to see more of these game recaps. We're also doing a draft every single day until the season starts too, so check those out. The first game we're going to look at is the Chiefs and the Saints. The Saints pulled this out, the last-second field goal, 26-24. For the Chiefs, we saw a little bit of Patrick Mahomes, 2 of 2 for 15 yards. That was exciting just to see him on the field. Shane Buechele got most of the work, 11 of 18 for 155 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He had an interesting career at Texas as a freshman, and then he transferred to SMU, and he was super productive over there. Interesting name to keep an eye on. He'll probably be the third quarterback behind Blaine Gabbert. Gabbert had 4 of 8 for 59 yards and a touchdown. I don't really see how he could lose his backup job based off of that performance. Just a solid day for all the quarterbacks here, except Chris Oludekun. He was 5 of 12 for 52 yards and a pick. Not the best day for him, but he did lead the way in rushing. He had a 30-yard rush. Maybe that'll save him a spot on the team. Who knows? But he's probably in a battle with Shane Buechele right now. LaMichael Pirine led the way for running backs. He had 6 carries for 24 yards and a 4-yard average. Denetric Prince had 14 yards on the ground. CEH was the only main back who really saw action in this game. No Jerick McKinnon action, no Isaiah Pacheco action, but CEH had three carries for 7 yards. He also had 2 catches for 15 yards, so a decent little day for him. Who knows if Isaiah Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon not being involved means that Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the third running back on that totem pole. We'll just have to see. But right now, as far as how they're being drafted, that's definitely how they're being drafted. Patrick Mahomes had 5 on the ground. Jerry and Ely had 3. And Blake Bell had a little belldozer action, but didn't get any yards on that. For the receivers, Nico Remigio had 71 yards and 4 catches on 6 targets. He was a former highly rated recruit. Richie James, I think, is one of the most underrated receivers in the NFL. He kind of bounced around, but he shows out in some games. He had an interesting... The quarterback, I think it might have been Shane Buechele, overthrew him, but he got wide open in the end zone. 44 yards for him and a touchdown. Cornell Powell had 42. Rashee Rice, the rookie, chipped in 3 catches for 30 yards and 4 targets. Solid day for him. Justin Ross, one of my deep sleepers, he had 29 yards and a touchdown. He had a really, really good career at Clemson, so that's a name to keep an eye on moving forward. He might be a good red zone target when they want to move off of Travis Kelce in that area, or it gets too predictable, I should say, that they're going to go to Travis Kelce every time. Kekoa Crawford had 27 yards and a touchdown. Noah Gray, the backup tight end, had 11 yards. There should never be another tight end handcuff to get, but if you're using such a high pick on Kelce, it wouldn't be the worst idea to get Noah Gray. So that's a name to keep in mind. Jerry and Ely had 10 yards. Not a whole lot here, honestly. Just a lot of backups got play, and we saw how CEH does when he gets a little bit of work too. And we got a little bit of clarity as far as the backup quarterback battle. Jake Haener led the way for the Saints, the rookie from Fresno State. He was 10 of 17 for 105 yards, touchdown and a pick. Good performance for his very first NFL game. Jameis Winston, he should be the primary backup. I think he's one of the best backups in the league. 11 of 13, 92 yards and a touchdown. This should be how their quarterback room stacks up. When we go into the regular season, Derek Carr 1, Jameis Winston 2, Jake Haener 3. For the rushers, we had Jamal Williams leading the way. He had 28 yards on 9 carries. Solid day for him. Ellis Merriweather had 9 carries for 24 yards. Jameis Winston chipped in 14. Alvin Kamara looked really good. His very first rush, he had to get skinny, and he just made what is a difficult move look really easy. So he still got it. People are counting him out a little too early, I think. Jake Haener had 8 on the ground. Kendre Miller had 4 carries for 5 yards. There's a lot of love for Kendre Miller going on right now, but I think at the end of the day, he does a lot of the same things that Jamal Williams does, and Jamal Williams led the league in rushing touchdowns last year by a really good margin. He had 17, and second place had only 13. So I don't think that the Saints are going to sign a guy like that and then just bench him so they can play a third-round rookie. That doesn't sound likely to me. Maybe further on in the year, but to start for sure, Jamal Williams is going to get a lot of play, especially while Kamara's out for the first 3 games. Jamal Williams is going to get some run here, so keep an eye out for him. I think he is the name you want to look at if you're trying to get someone who isn't Alvin Kamara in the Saints backfield. The receivers, A.T. Perry was a receiver I really liked in the draft. He went super late too, 6 catches, 70 yards and a touchdown. He's going to make this team. Bryan Edwards, former Raider, had 37 yards receiving. Juwan Johnson, the tight end, had 29 and 2 catches. He had an interesting run too. He caught a pass over the middle from Derek Carr, ran over some people. He's going to have a role in this offense. Alvin Kamara chipped in 21 more yards through the air. Shaquan Davis had 20. Ellis Merriweather chipped in 17 more yards and a touchdown through the air. Michael Thomas, it's good to see him out there. He had 16 yards. The ghost of Jimmy Graham is back on the Saints. He had 10 yards receiving. Just a really interesting day for them. Lynn Bowden, he has some history with John Gruden, and Gruden's been at their practices, so I wonder how that's going. He had 3 targets and only 1 catch. Taysom Hill caught his only target. Kendre Miller caught his only target. Chris Olave didn't catch his only target. Interesting stuff here from the Saints. They played their starters more than the Chiefs, so I think when we look at this box score, we're going to be able to learn more about what this team's going to look like as we move into the regular season. Last game of the night just wrapped up. The Raiders beat the 49ers easily, 34-7. Trey Lance, this is one of the more misleading stat lines you'll see this preseason. His touchdown should have been a pick. He threw it right to a defender. He bobbled it, and it fell into Trey Lance's tight end's hands. And then there was another throw, too, where he threw it right to the defense. He did not look comfortable at all. His pocket awareness needs a ton of work. Watching this game, you saw why they're hesitant to name him the starter. He's got some work to do as a passer for sure. And Sam Darnold, on the other hand, you saw him throw it. He's not a good quarterback either, but at least he looked more confident than Trey Lance did. He was throwing balls when they needed to be thrown. He wasn't hanging on to it too long like Trey Lance was. Sam Darnold did look better than Trey Lance here for sure. I get why all the reports out of that camp are that Sam Darnold is beating out Trey Lance. Brandon Allen competing for that 4th quarterback job. They may not have a spot for him. 5 of 8 for 36 yards and a pick. Interesting stuff from the passers there for the 49ers. Tyrion Davis-Price led the way for the rushers, 29 yards on 9 carries. He was a 3rd-round pick last year. Jordan Mason was a popular sleeper pick last year. 5 carries for 17 yards. He'll have a spot on this team. Ronnie Bell, 15 yards. Jeremy McNichols had 4 carries of 7 yards. I'm not sure if he's going to make the team. Trey Lance, that's the thing. His rushing is supposed to be what he does, and he only rushed for 2 yards. Sam Darnold didn't chip in anything. Main thing we want to look at here is the usage of Tyrion Davis-Price and Jordan Mason. Who's going to emerge from that battle there? For the receivers, Ronnie Bell led the way. He had 58 yards on 3 catches and 6 targets. Chris Conley, the former Chief, had 47 yards and 3 catches on 4 targets. Troy Fumagalli had 2 catches for 30 yards. Isaiah Winstead had 22. Ross Dwelly, the tight end, he's the one who caught that crazy should-have-been-a-pick touchdown from Trey Lance. Willie Snead, he's former everything. 12 yards receiving on 1 catch, 2 targets. Jeremy McNichols chipped in 11 through the air. Cameron Latu, I really like him. I thought he was underrated in the draft. 9 yards for him. Braden Willis, the OU product, 5 yards. Jordan Mason didn't catch his target. Interesting stuff here. The big takeaway is we got to understand Trey Lance needs a lot of work, and maybe we shouldn't be taking him at the end of fantasy drafts after all. The Raiders had a phenomenal day. Aiden O'Connell, the rookie, he played amazing. 15 of 18, 141 yards throwing the ball, had a touchdown. Really good stuff from him. Jimmy Garoppolo, we already know, has, back-to-back years of major injuries. Brian Hoyer is super old, so Aiden O'Connell could get some run this year as the starting quarterback. That's definitely a name that we want to watch out for. Chase Garber's competing for that backup role too. He was 3 of 5 for 11 yards and a touchdown. Not sure he's going to make the team with Aiden O'Connell performing this well, but who knows what they want to do with Brian Hoyer. Zamir White led the way. He's a good pickup with all the Josh Jacobs drama that's going on. 43 yards on 13 carries and a touchdown. Really good day for him. Sincere McCormick, great name. 27 yards rushing, had 9 carries and a touchdown. Amir Abdullah, he had 5 carries for 22 yards. He just always sticks around on teams. Damian Williams had 15 yards rushing the ball, 4 carries. Abdullah, Williams, Zamir White, all kind of just as good as each other, so it'll be interesting to see how that battle shakes out. Aiden O'Connell chipped in 7 on the ground. Trey Tucker, the rookie receiver, he had a rush for 3 yards. Looking at the receivers, Cole Fotheringham. Of course, he led the way with 71 yards, 5 catches. Keelan Cole, a really good receiver, actually. I think he's underrated. 29 yards receiving, 6 catches, and a touchdown. Good day for him. Philip Dorsett, the former first-round pick, had 19 yards receiving, 2 catches. Trey Tucker, he had that rushing. 3 yards rushing. He had 15 yards through the air. Christian Wilkerson had 12. Amir Abdullah had 4. And Sincere McCormick had 2. Not a whole lot of production here because the Raiders won this game so easily. But the name to definitely watch out for as we move forward into the season is going to be Aiden O'Connell. I think he's going to start at some point. And that'll do it for me, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Look out for the daily drafts. No games until Thursday, so we'll have a game recap then. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.